Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're embarking on an incredible journey through 1,000 years of Islamic history, focusing on its heartland, the Middle East. It's a story of epic conquests, cultural explosions, and powerful empires. So buckle up. Imagine late antiquity, the 6th century. No one could have predicted that a vast civilization would rise from the seemingly barren Arabian Peninsula. It was a region nestled between two giants, the Persian Sasanian Empire to the east and the Christian Byzantine Empire to the west. The Arabian people were mainly nomadic tribes, many worshipping multiple deities, but this was all about to change. Around 570 CE, a man named Muhammad was born in Mecca. According to Muslim tradition, he was chosen by God as the last prophet, tasked with spreading monotheism in its purest form. The Quran, Islam's central book, was revealed to him in segments over many years. Initially, Muhammad faced persecution, but after migrating to Medina, an event marking the start of the Islamic calendar, he unified the Arab tribes into a Muslim nation. Muhammad passed away in 632, leaving a critical question: who would lead? This very question of rightful leadership would echo throughout Islamic history. His successors adopted the title Caliph, meaning successor. The first four, known as the Rashidun, or rightly guided caliphs, ruled for 30 years. During this time, the first Muslim state emerged, rapidly expanding from Iran to North Africa, pushing back against the Byzantines and bringing down the Sasanian Empire. Many see this as Islam's glory days, but it was also marked by deep internal tensions and assassinations. A major point of contention arose around Ali ibn Abi Talib, Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law. His supporters, who became known as Shias, believed Ali was divinely appointed. Their opponents, later called Sunnis, didn't recognize this. This political division eventually blossomed into the biggest religious rift in Islam. In 661, the Umayyads, an Arab family from Syria, took power. They shifted the capital from the Arabian Peninsula to Damascus and introduced a new system, a dynasty where leadership passed from father to son. The Umayyads led a second wave of conquests, creating an empire that stretched from Central Asia to the Iberian Peninsula. Their defeat at the Battle of Tours in the west prevented the Islamization of Western Europe. Caliph Abd al-Malik centralized power, strengthened Arab identity, and initiated grand projects like the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. But rebellions and civil wars plagued them. The killing of Ali's son at the Battle of Karbala was a devastating blow for the Shias. Finally, in 750, a military force brutally overthrew the Umayyads. From the chaos, the Abbasid dynasty rose. This Sunni Arab family, claiming lineage from Muhammad's uncle Abbas, brought an end to the upheaval. Their leadership lasted over 500 years. Immediately, they halted eastern expansion with a victory against the Chinese at the Battle of Talas, then turned inward to build their caliphate. They moved the capital to a new city they founded, Baghdad, which quickly became the largest and most prosperous city in the world. This was the golden age of Islamic civilization. Baghdad became a magnet for poets, writers, physicians, philosophers, and astronomers. Greek and other scientific texts were translated into Arabic, sparking an explosion of original scholarship. Caliph Harun al-Rashid, famous from the Arabian Nights, patronized scholars, fostered diplomatic ties with Charlemagne, and even sent an elephant to Europe, sparking wonder. However, from the mid-9th century, the Abbasids in Baghdad began to lose control. Local Muslim dynasties gained power across the empire, and the caliph became more of a symbolic figurehead. The caliphate's Arab exclusivity also waned as Persian and Turkic influences grew, making the Islamic story a truly multicultural one. In the West, Spain was never under Abbasid rule, instead being governed by a remnant of the Umayyad dynasty. The Islamic presence there lasted for centuries, gradually pushed back by the Christian Reconquista. To the east, various Persian dynasties thrived, sparking a revival of Persian culture and language which adopted the Arabic script. In 945, the Persian Umayyad family took control of Baghdad. Though Shia, they chose not to depose the Sunni Abbasid caliph, but rather controlled him. Meanwhile, the ambitious Fatimids, a Shia dynasty tracing their lineage to Muhammad's daughter Fatima, established Cairo as their capital and spread across North Africa. They called for the overthrow of the Abbasid caliph, causing panic among the Sunni rulers. The Fatimids ruled their shadow caliphate for an impressive 200 years, shaping Shia Islam from a political movement into a defined religious one. The 10th and 11th centuries brought significant changes as Turkic peoples, nomadic and skilled mounted archers, migrated into the Middle East from Central Asia. This process involved conversion to Sunni Islam, migration, and political takeovers. In 1055, the Seljuks, a Sunni Turkic family, seized Baghdad, removing the Shia Umayyads. They adopted the title of Sultan, which would remain central for centuries. The Seljuks defended the Abbasids against the Fatimid threat, becoming agents of a Sunni resurgence and solidifying the Abbasid caliph's symbolic legitimacy. In 1071, at the Battle of Manzikert, the Seljuk Sultan crushed the Byzantine emperor, opening Anatolia to Turkic tribes. Over the next centuries, Greek-Christian Anatolia transformed into a Turkic Muslim land, forming the bedrock of modern Turkey under the Sultanate of Rum, a Seljuk branch. Then, in 1095, while the Islamic Middle East was politically fragmented, the Crusades began. Under the Catholic Church's direction, European forces sought to liberate holy places from Muslim control. They occupied Jerusalem and established states along the Mediterranean coast for 200 years. During this period, Muslims generally viewed the Crusaders as representatives of a less advanced civilization. In the 12th century, Saladin, a charismatic Sunni Kurdish leader, rose to prominence. He eliminated Fatimid rule, founded the Ayyubid dynasty in Egypt and Syria, and famously defeated the Crusaders at the Battle of Hattin in 1187, liberating Jerusalem. Though not decisive in the long term, it was a massive blow. Meanwhile, the Seljuk state collapsed, paving the way for the Turkic Khwarezmian Empire to rise in Iran and Central Asia. But a much greater storm was brewing. The 13th century marked a dramatic turning point. Far to the north, Genghis Khan united the Mongol tribes. Under him and his descendants, the Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous land empire in history, seen as invincible. An ill-advised execution of Mongol merchants by the Khwarezmian rulers led to the empire's brutal end. By the mid-13th century, the Mongols controlled Iran, the Caucasus, and much of Anatolia. In 1258, Hulagu Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, demanded the Abbasid caliph's surrender. The caliph refused. Hulagu besieged Baghdad, razed it to the ground, and massacred its inhabitants. The great House of Wisdom library was destroyed, marking the end of the Islamic Golden Age. The Abbasid caliph was trampled to death, ending 500 years of Abbasid leadership. Hulagu then turned towards Egypt. There, the Ayyubid dynasty had been replaced by the Mamluk Sultanate. The Mamluks were Turkic slave soldiers, brought from the steppes, converted to Islam, and trained as an elite fighting force. In 13th century Egypt, these slaves became masters. In 1260, at the Battle of Ain Jalut, the Mamluks achieved the unthinkable. They defeated the Mongols, halting their advance. Sultan Baybars, a key figure, also crushed the Crusaders, paving the way for their final collapse. This double victory cemented the Mamluks' image as the defenders of Islam, further bolstered when Baybars re-established a symbolic Abbasid caliphate in Cairo. The Mamluks ruled for another 250 years. By the end of the 13th century, the Mongol Empire had splintered into local dynasties. many of which converted to Islam and adopted Turkic dialects. The Ilkhanids, descendants of Hulagu, ruled from Anatolia to Iran, proving that Mongols weren't just brutal conquerors, but also agents of economic, cultural, and intellectual prosperity. The Ilkhanate fell in the 14th century, replaced by the empire of the cruel Turco-Mongol conqueror Timur. His Timurid empire also showed that brutality and cultural flourishing could coexist. Meanwhile, in the West, a new power was rising. Around 1300, Osman led a small Turkic Muslim principality in Anatolia. His descendants fought the Byzantine Empire, conquering territories in Anatolia and the Balkans, forming the Ottoman Empire. In 1453, they conquered Constantinople, ending 1,000 years of Byzantine rule, and often seen as marking the end of the Middle Ages. Constantinople became Istanbul, the new Turkish capital. Sultan Selim the Grim tripled the empire's size, leveraging new gunpowder technologies. In 1517, he captured Cairo, executed the last Mamluk sultan, terminated the Abbasid caliphate there, and declared himself caliph, the new leader of Sunni Islam. The Ottoman Empire spread across vast territories in the Middle East, North Africa, and southeastern Europe. By the 16th century, two other powerful empires emerged to its east: the Shia Safavid Empire, which is considered the foundation of modern Iran, and the Mughal Empire, which ruled India. These three gunpowder empires were strong and stable in the early modern period. The Ottoman Empire, the last caliphate in Islamic history, endured for an incredible 600 years, finally falling in the 20th century after World War I. And that's a whirlwind tour of 1,000 years of Islamic history. What an incredible journey through triumphs, transformations, and enduring legacies. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating historical content. We love bringing these stories to life for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.